Hello, everyone. So, we continue today with the books of the Bible, and we'll be looking at a brief summary of the Book of Nahum. Now, the Book of Nahum was written by the prophet Nahum sometime between 640 and 615 BC. It contains three chapters, and it was written to the people of Nineveh. It was also written for the Jewish people to announce the destruction of the Assyrians, who are also referred to as the people of Nineveh. It was Judgment Day for their enemies. The Book of Nahum was composed once again by the prophet Nahum, who is identified as the Elkoshite. He is regarded as one of the 12 minor prophets in the Old Testament and is known for delivering messages of hope, comfort, and consolation to the Jewish people during times of trouble. The name Nahum itself means consoler, reflecting his role in offering reassurance amid despair. The content of Nahum's prophecies primarily focused on oracles of judgment. These oracles are rich in vivid imagery that conveys intense emotions and sensations, painting a dramatic picture of the impending doom facing Nineveh, the capital of Assyria. The language used is highly poetic, with Nahum employing literary devices such as metaphors and similes to create striking visualizations. The text is marked by repetition and a series of brief, concise phrases, which contribute to its urgency and emotional depth, as seen in Nahum chapter 3, from verse 1 to 3. Throughout the book, rhetorical questions are used effectively to engage the audience and underscore the prophet's moral outrage against injustice. Nahum received his divine calling or his calling during the reign of King Manasseh, whose rule is often described as one of the most corrupt and idolatrous in Judah's history. Manasseh's reign was marked by significant disobedience to God and a departure from righteous living. In this challenging context, God tasked the prophet Nahum with prophesying about the eventual destruction of Assyria, which occurred sometime in 612 BC. The Lord's anger was directed at the inhabitants of Nineveh, who obstinately rejected his guidance and persisted in their wickedness and their idolatry. This situation is particularly poignant because about a century earlier, God had sent the prophet Jonah to Nineveh, where the people initially repented at his warning. However, over time, they returned to their cruel and oppressive ways, reflecting a pattern of behavior similar to that of the children of Israel, who frequently strayed from their covenant with God. The actions of the Assyrians had far reaching consequences for the people of Israel. By decimating Israel's capital city, Samaria, and invading Judah, the Assyrians established themselves as enemies of both God and his chosen people. In this context, Nahum's message emphasizes that it was time for Nineveh to face divine judgment. The prophecy states that the destruction of Nineveh will ultimately bring liberation to the nation of Israel from their oppressors. Nahum 1, verse 14a. Now, one of the central themes in Nahum's message is the principle that the guilty cannot go unpunished. Nahum 1 3. This serves as a reminder to the people of Judah that justice will be served. Despite the dire consequences or dire circumstances that they were enduring, Nahum assured them that God is their refuge in times of trouble. The prophet encouraged them not to fear, as conveyed in Nahum 1 7. Now, overall, the book of Nahum reveals critical aspects of God's character, his justice against evil, and his protective nature towards his people. It highlights the importance of remaining faithful to God, urging the people to turn away from immorality and maintain their covenant with him. Through Nahum's vivid and dramatic oracles, both the despair of judgment and the hope of deliverance are powerfully articulated in this book. And so we end here with a brief summary on the book of Nahum, and we shall continue next time with the book of Habakkuk. And until then, do remain blessed and take care.